We're gonna have to admit that Severance is the best show on TV. Now the thing is, I don't even watch TV. I've got a TV, but I luckily saw an advert. I can't remember if it was on YouTube or on Twitter. I genuinely can't remember. I remember seeing the main character just running through hallways, and I was thinking. Now the thing is, I'm so glad I started watching it when season 2 came out, because apparently when season 1 came out, ended on a cliffhanger, and then people had to wait, what, 2-3 years for season 2? I'm sorry, I couldn't do that. I could not do that. The way season 1 ended, how are people waiting 2 years? I had to reply to one tweet where it's saying those individuals that waited 2 years are God's strongest soldiers. Me, I would have been fuming, because I started it when season 2 just came out, so I'm up to date. The premise of Lumen and Severance and whatnot is actually kind of spooky, like the whole thing, and it just feels like, I think Lumen control basically the whole like city or state kind of thing, because they're always spying on Mark. Like even when he had his neighbor, what's her name, Miss Scobell? That was her name? Forgot. She was pretending to be like a lady just living on her own, like her husband died, I think, and then obviously it was found out that she's not severed, so she was lying to Mark all the time. The cinematography in Severance, honestly, is beautiful. It's actually beautiful. The way it's filmed, the music, the tense scenes, like the build up to stuff is so good. And each like episode, even though it's what, like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, it feels like it's 15 minutes. It flies by and you're just like, now I got to wait a whole week for an episode. I'm fuming now. But then, like I said, the fans keep up because they're talking about certain theories that they think is going to happen next episode. If you missed out this certain Easter egg and all this stuff, and it's so good, man. It's so good. Like each episode was like a mini movie kind of thing. And it's not like it's actiony, but there is a lot happening each episode. Does that make sense? So you're just like, you're glued to the screen. You're like, oh, if I missed that, like 30 seconds of that, you won't understand like the whole episode, what's going on. It's and obviously Lumen higher ups, like there's some sinister stuff going on, but we don't know any backstory of it. All we know about Praise Keir and all that stuff. So who's on the board for Lumen? Like who's on the board? Because they always hear, and not the receptionist, the like the personal assistant for them, always smiling. It's like some creepy smile. It's like she's like trapped in a body kind of thing. And Mr. Milchick battling, trying to keep the Severance floor under base since Miss Colwell's gone. But she needs to come back because Mr. they call him Mr. Milkshake. He's losing his mind now. He's got told he's using too many big words. It's crazy. That floor. Last episode, no work was getting done on that floor. Everyone was out the office. The way Mark S is moving, yeah, is he forgetting that he's got a wife? I don't know if the S in his name stands for severance or sex, because he's slinging dick around and I'm thinking, what's going on? Obviously that's not the premise of the show, but I'm just like, what's going on? Innies, outies, he's moving mad. But yeah, all the characters now, that's why I think the most recent episode is like, I feel it's like fillerish for this week's episode, but waiting per week for an episode, it's pain, man. It's pain. It's just, you've got to think deeper than just what's portrayed on screen kind of thing. Even like with even like anime like Death Note, like it's not just simply what you see on screen. It's like, oh wait, what if they had done that, but then they do this, and oh okay, blah blah blah. But I know I can't wait. And the thing, when this series eventually ends, I'm just gonna be like, bruh, I might have to start watching Suits. I remember my friend Ishak was always saying, watch Suits. I'm like, Suits. I might have to check it out. I don't know if they're like bringing it back or something. I'm not sure. I'm sure that ended like years ago. But yeah, this show, like I said, Succession was so good. Got into it, and then by the time I got into it, that was the last season. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. But that ended really well. Breaking Bad obviously ended brilliantly. Game of Thrones was the biggest disappointment because of the last series. That's because of the writers thought they were gonna do Star Wars, and then they didn't get it, so they rushed it. I'm like, this would have been the greatest show ever. Like for action, Game of Thrones, elite. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this season. I just hope we don't have to wait long for season 3, because I'm not trying to wait 2-3 years for that. That's pain. I don't know how people done it with season 1, because the way that ended, I was like, oh okay, cool. I thought it was kind of like, you know, those Netflix series where they release all the episodes for a series all in one go, But I realized now they were staggering it out, and then I'm like, wait, season one's done, and people had to wait 2 years. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. Like, no, no, no. Ben Stiller, you can't do that. But yeah, for me, if Severance continues how it's going right now, it's definitely in my top five. Like for me, obviously, I got top three: The Wire, not in particular order: The Wire, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Succession, Severance is here. I'm thinking of other shows that I've seen that's like elite. I can't remember, but yeah, it's definitely going to be on my top, at least minimum top 10, minimum, because like I said, it's the way it's filmed, the storyline, and it doesn't. It's one of those shows that it doesn't just feed you all the information, so you've got to think, and it doesn't treat you like an idiot at the same time. It's just like, this is what's going on. It's realistic as well, because I was thinking that season 2 was kind of gonna go into the realm of like, I wanted them to still keep it serious and not have this like sci-fi-esque kind of thing, but they've managed to keep it still pretty serious and like realistic kind of thing. So you're like, okay, cool, so that's good. But because there was some parts I was thinking that was happening with Irvin, when it's like the dreams and stuff, and I was thinking, all right, where are we going here? Like, what's the sat nav telling us? But yeah, Ben Stiller, he's doing a good ass job. I didn't even know he was involved until I started seeing interviews and stuff on YouTube. I'm like, Ben Stiller, okay, yeah, that's and what's his name, Mr. Milchick. His acting, everyone's acting is so good. Mr. Milchick, Helena, when Helly's pretending, no, when Helena's pretending to be Helly. And you got Mark S, Innie and Outie, Mr. Milchick, Dylan as well. Dylan's hilarious. And he's obviously, his wife feels that she's cheating on him, on his Outie, because they're obviously two different people and whatnot. And then you've got, what's his name? Irvin with Bert. But then there's stuff going on where, the thing is with Irvin, right? He portrays that he's stern to a certain degree, but he always knows what's going on, even if he doesn't portray it. And that's what I love about him as a character. And it's so good, man. And yeah, I love the show. I love the show, and I hope they just keep it simple. Don't have to go crazy. This has the potential to be one of the greatest shows ever. So hopefully Ben Stiller, they stick to the script, whatever they're gonna do. And yeah, I just don't want to wait 3 years for season 3, because that's just gonna be pain. I can't do that. I can't do that. So yeah, it's cool, but let's just see what happens.